We know the same thing is happening up in Canada with Trudeau, who is a World Economic Forum puppet, who is in the global leadership groups, the youth groups, etc., who's been groomed from a young age to destroy his country, to give it the globalist image now, which would be a smart city. Take a look at this hell on earth.
Does this look familiar? Sitting in gridlock traffic, rushing from work to appointments, going to be late for dinner again. The road rage kicks in. This is the life we're used to. But what if life could look like this? An oasis of green parks, endless sidewalks, and empty roads. And
did they kick all the drug addicts out of the scenery? Because they're all over now. Done by design.
Possible? Well, it's actually the concept behind the 15-minute city.
15-minute city, or the 15-minute neighborhood, is certainly something that's become very much, you can say, in vogue recently.
Paris is working towards it, so is Barcelona and Portland, and now Vancouver also has a plan in place.
Big new move number one was that we build a city where, for all residents in the city, the 90% of your daily need.
So nice that you kicked all the drug addicts out so that you were able to talk about the 15-minute city, which is an absolutely fabulous idea. I would just love to never be able to leave my neighborhood because it just is so beautiful down here. And I love the fresh urine smell that I have to walk past every morning. So, yeah, just nice. You got rid of them all. Is this what the future is? There's no drug addicts? What's going to happen to them all?
Are within a walking distance.
When I put the closest grocery store in my GPS, it's more than a 30-minute walk away. But in a 15-minute city, I could walk to the grocery store, post office, doctor's appointment, gym, hair salon, dentist, you name it, all within, you guessed it, just 15 minutes. A solution not just for gridlock on the streets, but also for carbon emissions. In fact, the goals of creating a more walkable city were announced as part of Vancouver's recent Climate Emergency Action Plan. And the Vancouver Plan and Project team are already in the process of figuring out what neighborhoods should look like and how to translate that into land use.
So, they just told us, basically told me, that the tents last year were done on purpose. They put tents on our streets, came on the news, did poor bashing, was absolute poor bashing, and basically said poor people pee behind their tents, do hard drugs, and have weapons in their tents. These are just poor people. And they're allowed to steal too because they're poor people. All of that crap was done on purpose, and I knew it at the time, so that we could have this beautiful 15-minute city. So we're going to take another look and see where they're stashing the drug addicts.
Strategies.
Just look at your neighborhood and look at your walk score. The walk score actually just tells you how many good things you're a short walk from. Where we get really low walk scores are in the parts of the city that are largely suburban. And so there's some sections where, single-family homes are really far from a lot of retail. And in those areas, the actual answer is to deliver more of those commercial services to them.
The Plan and Project team will be addressing council with options as early as July. They'll also have some pilot project ideas. But for this plan to really work, you don't just need to change the city.
To meet the environmental goals that the country, the province, and the city have committed to repeatedly, is to change behavior.
So in Vancouver's latest
let's talk about changing behavior, because during the pandemic, behaviors were changed drastically. So we live in a big toilet now, and that's done by design. When I walk down the street, I have to take a couple of pills so I can digest the toxic urine fumes, probably laced with fentanyl too. Not one drug addict in the 15-minute city. Where do they go? What is going to happen? If there was going to be drug addicts in the 15-minute city, they would have popped one in there. This guy's fabulous. The end of the beginning. Always loses his channels. Has literally hundreds of thousands of followers when he gets a new channel. If you check that out, you can learn about direct energy weapons, which I learned about in 2018, 2019. Very scary shit.
Climate Emergency Action Plan, they announced new incentives to drive less, like connecting cycling and walking networks citywide in hopes that 80% of trips by
Okay. So they want you on bikes, but hundreds and hundreds of bikes come down my neighborhood and are turned into parts. They go back into the recycling bike parts for parts. They get cash so they can buy more drugs, and the person's got to take a car to work now. Really? How long do those people get to keep their bikes? Even kids' bikes quite often make it in my neighborhood and turn into parts.
Will be made either by foot, bike, or transit. They also announced disincentives for driving, like implementing transportation price.
Okay, so they took all the drug addicts a couple blocks away so that they could make that video in Gastown.
In the Metro Core and creating a carbon pollution surcharge on residential parking permits. But all of this takes some time.
Cities change slowly over time because you actually have to build them.
The team says they're looking at how to move Vancouver towards this vision over the next 30 to 50 years.
Okay, and you're not in it, drug addicts. Nowhere are you in it. They took you out of every clip, even in Gastown where you guys walk around. This should be a wake-up call to get off the hard drugs. Where are you guys going in the 15-minute city?